Okay. Start the recording. Has anyone talked to Phil?
No.
No.
Okay, I haven't heard from him either. So I'll start the meeting at 5:33 with Jeff Quackenbush, Stephen Dalmas, and myself, Frank McGinn.
Frank, do you want to try, speaking of Phil, touching base with him and seeing?
I'm gonna try. I don't have his phone number.
Hang on, I'll give it to you.
Okay. Because I emailed him. I didn't hear the last time.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
603-259-6086.
1 second. Give it a second.
Oh, you're calling him now?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
It's all worth a minute. So, and if he can get on, he can get on. If not, that's okay too. He won't recognize my number, so hey, Phil, it's Frank from the Buildings Committee about tonight's meeting. I'll try emailing you later. Thank you. Okay, whether he recognized the number or not.
Right.
I don't know if I never heard from him. I emailed him. I never heard back. So I don't know if he ever got sworn in. I should ask Grace. But sure. So, did you have a chance, Jeff, to look at that letter?
Yeah, I read it over.
Okay. Stephen helped me a little with it. And I went last night. I listened last night to the Finance Committee. And at the very end, it's very interesting, the Finance Committee and the spreadsheet. At the very end, they asked about who I was because I logged on my building and materials Zoom account, not my personal account. And then we talked a few minutes. I'd like to do us to do a presentation or be part of another meeting in the future. But they had already had us in the spreadsheet for the 10,000, so it's all taken care of for next
Oh,
year.
good.
Yeah, it was like when they were scrolling down to different numbers right in the beginning, it popped out building materials, buildings committee had -30 and the differential between one year to another. So it was a big red thing. So it worked out very well for us. So I'd like to send this off to them. And then my feeling is before I send off the spreadsheet, Stephen had mentioned getting a few more pictures. I didn't realize we had cleaned up enough that there were only 4 left. And I thought today we just highlight a few things of what I can go around this week and take pictures of. I am mobile. I just can't,
Good.
and I can walk and all that. Driving's okay until you hit potholes. And we don't have that problem around here, do we? Um, so I don't know how your side of the lake is, Stephen. We've got a little mud up
Yeah, it's a
on
joke.
is it? Oh,
Yeah.
Wendell Road is has 4 spots that are very muddy and everything else is dry. We lucked out.
Well, ours is not, like mud season condition, but after the ice melted off, there are quite a few potholes. Uh,
Uh,
and then when it first started to melt, I guess when we had the rain, it created some little like channels through the road. So those are additional bumps. But anyway, can couple thoughts about the letter.
yep.
I don't know if you want to sign it at the bottom and include the names of the committee members.
I can do that.
Um, and the other question is some of the electrical items that are listed there include the LED lighting, like the buildings that don't have, well, have a combination of some LEDs and still fluorescent fixtures.
Yep.
And I was wondering if we want to take out the LEDs because, what we've talked about in terms of pursuing it is that we're going to look into grants for that.
So we're talking about the school, for instance.
The school, well, the school, the fire department, I think town hall, I think they all have um, a mix. But we're not sending them, in the four buildings, we're not including the school.
Right.
I mean, there's obviously nothing in,
Well, this one I see fire department has 9.3 and 9.5. So we have the wiring
nine
and
five. Well,
okay,
it's actually that's the defective motion sensor light.
yeah.
Okay, so that should stay.
Yeah. So I think we leave it. I mean, I think we don't need to be specific about the LEDs. I mean, they can,
Okay.
if they're in there, we can, if it's brought up, we're saying, no, we're not replacing those, we're replacing grants. Um, I think this is going to be specifically capital planning is going to take this apart. That's my feeling is they're going to say, well, what is this going to cost? What is this going to cost? What's the long term? And I think at that point, maybe the committee can get together and write another letter saying, uh, we'd like the LEDs to be part of a grant thing if we can get one.
Hmm.
So,
Okay.
and just leave it. I mean, I don't want to be, you want to leave everything out there for them to pick at and at least we'll know that they read it, right? We want them to read the spreadsheet, and go from there. Um,
Okay. So and then moving on to the spreadsheet itself and photos.
yep.
I was wondering if there's value in if we can either having like a before and after. For instance, the work we did at the fire department where we replaced all that rotted wood on the front of the building, you know, it clearly illustrates how rough it was. And then we could have another, a new photograph after, or maybe we leave, maybe we leave the photo showing the condition before it's repaired, because then under history, we've made the comment that we've repaired that. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And I can do hyperlinks with that before and after, and at least show that some work is done on a few of these. That's a great idea.
So, I know I've sent you some photos.
Hmm.
I do have other photos. Like when you start looking at it, especially say like, well, we might have it in there, the rotted trim boards at West Schoolhouse number 2.
Old Town Hall.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're able to
I
marry
can,
two
I
photos,
can, yeah, I can run around tomorrow or the next day and do that. That'd be a great idea, just to show and explain. I'll put that in the letter somewhere. Or we'll leave it as a
I
surprise.
don't, well, if you want, since I spend so much time on it, I could do
Yep.
that
Okay.
because I know I have in there.
I like this one because it has
Screwdriver.
screwdriver in there.
I used to do that when I'd inspect a home where the rot wasn't quite so obvious. So I'd have photos in the report showing my screwdriver jammed into this wood that didn't look bad.
When I bought my house back in the early 90s in Providence, my first house I ever bought, the building inspector didn't have a screwdriver, he had a pointed end thing.
Oh yeah, some guys use ice picks.
Yeah, and he had a long one, and it was pretty. We were down in the basement, and he was very frustrated. He goes, "This old of a house should have something punky in it, and I can't find anything punky." I said, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "I like getting in there to say at least has to be replaced." But I was very lucky back then.
Yeah, good.
Um, so on these
So,
pictures, are you going to send me some pictures? Is that what you said, or you want to?
well, why don't you look through and identify some of the areas where we've done or
Okay,
had done repairs, and then let me know what they are, and I'll search for photos that illustrate the condition.
okay,
How's that?
yep. And then what I can also do is get out of these. Um, at like town hall, uh, where is the electrical in town hall?
Well,
In
the main panel is in the that kind of larger basement storage room that you enter
Yep,
from the meeting room.
yep. And is that one of the panels we want to replace in there?
No, what I would do is take a photograph of the fuse panel. You could in the hall, kind of across from the town administrator's office.
Oh, on first floor. Okay.
Yeah, and then if you want to take another one um, in the meeting room, if you're in the meeting room and you're going to go through the double doors into the hall,
Yep.
on the left, that's where the Pushmatic panel box is. Those are the two that warrant replacement for sure.
Okay. And on the other thing, because we're okay, this is the one. I mean, I'll use that's a good one showing the
Yeah,
back.
we don't have a new roof yet, so.
Right. So that's a good. Yeah, we don't have that one. So, um, well, when we go, yeah, we take something in the front. So I'll look at this and I'll try to figure out some other things to add, just to have a few more pictures because I like the idea, Stephen, of before and after pictures.
Mhm. Yeah, I thought of that and I thought, oh, that then they see what we've done.
Right.
Because if you just put the after picture, they have no idea what it looked like. And I
Right.
think there's more appreciation.
I don't have a before and after of Old Town Hall. And we didn't have any pictures of the sill there that you fixed.
Um, I'll have to look. I don't know that I took a picture of the door sill
Mhm.
before.
Yeah.
I'll look.
I mean, yeah, getting the before and after of the I'll note a few things that were fixed and we'll see if you have any more of the fire department would be great. I don't think we had any roof pictures before.
Well, I do have those.
Okay, if you do before and after those, that'd be enough for that. I don't think we need anything on the school. We're not doing the school, so we're just doing that. So of what we've examples of what we're doing, it'd be just nice to have before and afters.
Well, you're going to be sending the whole spreadsheet, right?
Yeah, correct.
So we could do the school.
Yeah, the school will be on there. The school will be on there. But no, if you want, I don't think we need to do any pictures unless you have pictures.
Well, I have some showing some pretty badly rotted trim at the back of the school. So I think that's worth putting in.
Okay. You'll send me that, write that down, send me that one. We'll add
Yep.
that to the spreadsheet for the school. And because we don't have that on there, but we can at least do the envelope, the exterior, because it's all before and after pictures. I can label it that way. That sounds good. Uh, okay, yeah, that's good. We'll try to get that done, and I want to get that off by end of the week or beginning of next week would be good for them. In capital planning. Okay. Adding pictures. Okay. And Jeff, I apologize. I didn't get to the meeting minutes. We'll get to that next week.
Okay.
No, no, in 2 weeks or whenever we meet again for these things. Have you, Stephen, you had mentioned working on electrical specs. Have we done that yet?
I have put a list together, but it occurred to me while I was doing it that I think it would be good, and I'm going to ask Jeff if he would do this with me, that we go and walk through the four buildings. Um, and if there's anyone that we can talk, certainly in the fire department and highway department, to see if they know of any other concerns that may have come up more recently, or if we see anything. Um, and then after that, I was wondering if it would be worth seeing if we could have a walkthrough with an electrician. Maybe, I don't know if there are any electricians in the community who would be willing to spend, time just walking through and seeing if they had any other thoughts related, or we just wait until we get electricians who are going to bid on this.
Isn't there an electrician that lives down by the lake?
Yes, I was just going to mention that. And that's where I fell and broke my ribs, coming from his house to the next house. So right in between that, Bright Electric or something like that.
I think it's balance.
Balance Electric, yeah. And I'll remember his name in a minute. And he's also the assistant electrical inspector for the town. Did you know that?
For the
Know
town
it
or for
now?
the town or the county?
The town. Hold on a second.
I think the town had an inspector. Okay.
This is weird. I think the town has the appointed list. It's not that list. Okay. He's not on a list. They've got an electrical inspector from Maurice Grigori is the electrical inspector, but I know another list he's on, and I can't find it on our town list. I'll find it, but yeah, no, he was appointed, because I was at that meeting, select board. Um, Balance Electric was appointed as the assistant inspector.
Okay.
Uh, but I can't find him on any list. So
Okay.
they wanted a backup, so I'll reach out to him and ask if he's available to do a walkthrough with you all. Or do you want to do that, Stephen?
Well, I'll let you touch base with him.
Okay, yep.
You met him?
Oh, I know him. Yeah, he's a nice
All
guy.
right. Well, you I think that would be good if you started the ball and
He's got two really neat tree houses in the back because he has two daughters, and each one wanted their own tree house. So they all
I
each.
know Russ Wilson's son built them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I just thought it was pretty funny that, why two? He goes, well, each daughter wants their own. So what a loving father.
Did you notice somebody's swimming platform is out in the middle of the lake?
That's Bob Douglas's, and it's in the middle of Mayor had taken a picture of it, and it's surrounded by ice, and it's floating in an ice thing. It broke its mooring, and he's going to come by tomorrow. I said tomorrow the rest of the ice should have melted because we've lost so much in what, 2 days, Stephen?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been cool.
Yeah, it's been just disappearing, and in maybe 3 days. Uh, and it is over the spillway. I noticed that the water, so the dam keepers tightened up on that. But yeah, that's Bob Douglas's on the way that. Okay, I'll make a contact with him and see if he has an hour or so to go around and make recommendations as an inspector.
Don't say an hour or so. It might take longer than that.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, a couple hours.
couple hours, yeah. Okay.
But I was thinking first, Jeff, would you be willing to do that with me? Walk, go
Sure.
through.
Yeah, because the other thing we should get from him is how should we present this so that people can bid on it?
Yeah.
Hmm. I would think some of it would be drawings and some of it would be spec.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay. That's all I had on for today's meeting is anyone else have any unanticipated?
No, so I will add verbiage in the letter about photos, and I'll
Yeah,
put the signature at the bottom. Um, Frank McGinn, do you want to be interim chair or chair?
doesn't matter.
All
Oh,
right.
let's make him chair.
Okay. You're gonna vote on it?
Yeah, he'll be like the king.
Okay. I vote, I mean, I make a motion that we elect Frank McGinn as the chair of the committee, the buildings committee.
Or we appoint him.
Oh,
Yeah, if I want a
I
crown.
make a motion that we appoint Frank McGinn as chairman of the town buildings committee.
And I second it. No crown.
No crown.
Thomas, I.
Like a bush eye.
Again, I. Wonderful.
Yes, you lose. So other than the electrical, are we going to pursue the other stuff?
I think the idea was to attack the electrical first.
Well, are you, Jeff, talking about some of the other things that we can do with Russ?
Well, some of the other things we've identified as more
High
important.
priorities.
Yeah, high priority. There you go.
Um,
I mean, but like the fencing at town hall.
right.
Stuff like that. We can start getting, we're trying to get some pricing together or talk to people.
I mean, in my mind, I'm thinking that we could figure out the fencing at town hall, but say the chain link fence at the fire department to
Mhm.
that would be something to that we'd have to get fence people to come and look at, right?
Right.
Well, I don't know. We may be able just to do like a drawing to scale and maybe some pictures. And, maybe that would be enough to get some pricing.
From fence companies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree because and just tell them they're going to be going in. I think that area is macadam the right word? Asphalt.
Asphalt's what people say in this part of the woods. I used to say macadam. That's what they say down in the area that I'm from. But people look at me when I say macadam. So
Yep.
asphalt.
Okay. So I mean, those are the little things that, you put in the spec because they want to drill through that, and then normally they'll hammer
I'm
down.
not sure that the area that we're talking about has macadam or asphalt.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was just dirt.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes it easier then. Okay. Then you just post
Okay.
it and put in there. Yeah. So if we do a drawing,
I'll start on the fence then.
yeah.
I'll go over and maybe I'll do a sketch and get some pictures.
Because it's basically a three-sided or
Two
four-sided
sides.
three-side chain link fence with a
Two
gate.
sides.
Two sides?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
two.
building forms two sides because it's kind
Okay.
of an L back there.
Yep.
Mhm.
And yeah, and that way I think, and then I'll go through the spreadsheet and make a list of all the high priorities that haven't been addressed. Excluding the fence we just talked about and the electrical. And I'll make a full list of what we've done so far. And then at the next meeting, we can prioritize that and, perhaps
Sure.
look at that. Um,
Okay. Because this electrical is going to take a long time to get organized.
yeah.
So I still, it looks like have access to the letter, Frank, so I'll be able to work on it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to change that. I think, hold on a second. Yeah, you will be able to work on it. I just want to, I might have changed you. Yeah, you still have editor's access.
Okay,
Yep, yep, you're
okay.
still there. Good, good,
I'll do
good.
that the next day and send that back to you.
Okay. Well, yeah, just
And,
just yeah, just email me because it's not, you don't have to send it. It's a live thing.
oh, all I have to do is do it.
Yeah, matter of fact, I use a similar program or a similar letter. I'm on the New Hampshire Potters Guild
Uh-huh.
kiln committee, and I was working on a letter, and all of a sudden this big pink highlight came up, and my friend was typing as I was typing, and you can see the live, and it just highlights the paragraph that they're working on. It was kind of fun to watch that we both were typing at the same time. Okay.
And Stephen, you sent us information on the there's people in Williamstown, Burg, whatever
Yeah, Williamstown.
town. Um, has anybody talked to them?
From our committee?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Because I'm
Steve
I'm
Smolsky, he
I'm
went
wondering
and took a
if we
look at
need
it.
to actually drive there, or those guys can send us dimensions and some pictures of the bottom of the whatever that thing's called.
Signboard.
Signboard.
Yeah.
Signboard.
Um, yeah, I think that's a good idea. I mean, worst case scenario, we just wait until it arrives. Um, and, when we have it in hand, we'll be able to make better sense. But yeah, I mean, if they could send some photos of it, I don't know that, the dimensions, if those would be helpful, but I think the photos would be the most helpful, the underside to see.
Do we have any idea when it's coming back?
I thought fall.
So if
I
it
could,
doesn't come back till fall, we may not be pouring.
We got to get right on it.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering if we can get more information from these guys sooner and maybe put the base, concrete base in this summer while the weather's good.
I'll reach out to Mateo. He's the head of the Conservation Commission and ask him all the pertinent questions on when it will be done.
Yeah, and if we can get pictures and
Get
dimensions.
photos and pictures and dimensions. Okay.
Do you remember how much they're spending to get this thing fixed?
20,000 $20,000.
Now,
Jeez.
the figure that came into my mind was 17, but it's probably more.
Yeah, that's when I remember 17, but I think they said they had extras and they were going to do the
Oh,
roof
of
and a few other.
course.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think all of that's grant money too. So came from somewhere.
Oh, okay.
It's not out of free cash. It's money that the Historical Society has gotten over time for various things. Because I remember Becky complaining about they were shooting the wad on this whole project for the Historical Commission when there's other stuff to be done. But
Well, when I saw that it's a conservation, what? The business deals with historical conservation. I'm like, I can't believe it.
I can see paintings and stuff like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay.
but it's done. There's nothing we do about it. So,
Yep. Move forward.
so I'll contact Mateo tomorrow. So should we
So,
do? Go ahead, Stephen.
so Jeff, when would be a time where you and I could get together and walk around these four buildings? When do you have time?
Um, Sometime next week I'm available, but I don't have it in front of me right now.
Okay.
Are you good? Are you good next week?
Well, I have different things, like I have different appointments, but I can on most days find time.
Okay. Let me um let me check my calendar and I'll send you an email.
Okay, sounds good.
And then we have a tour of the library next week, right?
Is it next week or
So next week or the week after?
it's the 3rd of April? We have
Next
a
week.
we're scheduled for a library building committee on meeting on the next Wednesday, the 26th.
Okay. It must be the next week we have a walkthrough. Okay.
Yes, it is. It's the
Okay.
did I say the 3rd?
All right.
Yeah, it's April the 3rd.
Okay.
So I haven't been by today, but are any windows in?
I was there yesterday and the windows aren't in. They haven't even put the air vapor barrier on yet. So they can't put the windows in.
Oh, okay.
Is the roof solid in the roof?
The sheathing's all in, yeah.
Well, not for, except not on the upturn roof. They still haven't framed that.
Oh, jeez.
So they gave us a new schedule. That'll be part of the discussion this coming week.
At least they're all getting warm weather now, and
Yep. Yeah. And mud.
so. And our next meeting, do you want to do it in 2 weeks and then maybe go to a 30-day after that? Or because Anna would
Yeah.
really like to go to a 30-day.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay.
I assume she'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So we'll
Okay.
do April 2nd. She's away this week. So
Hmm.
I'll be away for the meeting after that.
okay, the meeting after that we'll probably do either the 30th or the 7th. and do it in 30 days after that. So we'll discuss that the next meeting, and you'll be away then?
I'll be away from April the 25th until the 20th of May.
Where are you going for a month?
Um, well, starting in Chicago, then taking the Empire Builder to Portland, and spending 5, 6 nights in Chicago, a couple nights on the train, a couple nights in Portland, then to Vancouver for 4 nights, taking the Canadian train 4 nights to Toronto, staying 4 nights in Toronto, then taking Amtrak to Hudson, New York for a couple nights, and then picking up a rental car and driving home.
Wow.
That's all.
I had a relative do the two trains, and only because they don't like to fly years ago, and he said the Canadian one's amazing.
Well, we took a Canadian one. It was just a single night 2 summers ago from Halifax to Quebec City, and it was just wonderful. And the attendant who took care of us on in our sleeping car, he was so great. Um, so it was wonderful, yeah. So we're looking forward to that one a lot.
Good.
But the Empire Builder is supposed to be pretty incredible as far as what you get to see.
And that goes from where to where?
Empire Builder starts in Chicago, and you can take it either to Portland or Seattle. If you take it
Okay.
to Portland, you get a view of the Columbia River Gorge, as you're coming towards Portland.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, fun, fun, fun.
Yep. Very good.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
I make a motion, we end this.
I second it. Down the side.
Wagon was I.
Again, aye.
So hopefully at the next meeting, hopefully we'll see our new member.
Yes, hopefully. And I'll stop in Town Hall tomorrow and see if Grace has heard from him. And if she hasn't, ask why her voicemail is full and she's not answering emails. So
Well, you remember I told you at the last meeting that I spoke with Gabe about it, and she was going to look into it.
maybe I'll do that. Tomorrow's
This
Thursday.
is weeks ago.
Yeah, I'll ask Gabe tomorrow. That's what I'll
Yeah,
do.
start with Gabe.
Yep.
So Gabe is still here?
Yeah, she was last night at the meeting. She's coming down to her last week or so. And then I don't know what they worked out with a rollover. I know she had a conflict, so she can't um do so many times. So she might not do some. I thought she was going to help out for the first few weeks of the new person, but that's not till later,
When's the new person start?
19th of April. And
Okay. So a
well,
couple, well, like
yeah,
a
a couple
month.
weeks. Yeah.
And it's a woman, correct?
Yep. And I was on that nominating committee, and it was a very positive thing, and she was my number one choice in the beginning.
Good.
And she has some
Well,
really good. She's worked with senior citizens, but she's just got her master's in municipal government and wants to come over. She's also taking a pay cut from Amherst Senior Center that she ran to now. So I thought that was interesting. Because she wants to get into municipal government. So we'll get 6 or 8 years out of her.
How old is this person?
I'm not good with age, Jeff. I'd say
You
late
like,
30s, early 40s.
so
okay,
she's not an old person.
Isn't it?
okay. And she's
Good.
not right to school. Okay.
Question. In the letter, should I include Phil Parker's name, or, I mean,
Sure, include Phil, and before we send it out, we'll confirm he's still coming on board. But yeah, he should, yeah. He's on the committee, he's on the list, so.
Okay.
And I can see you typing, Stephen.
Yeah, I'm almost
You
done.
all can see you typing because it's a shared document. Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Everybody can see? I thought as editor, only I could.
No, I've got, you know, as editor, you're doing it, but I'm saying right now it's as a shared document. Can you see the documents, Jeff?
Yes.
Yeah. So right here is where Steve
Yeah,
can.
so how's that? Is
Yeah.
that
That
okay?
looks great. Yep.
All right, if you go back to the top, I've added, where are we now? Okay, in priorities, in the note where I have
Yeah.
spreadsheets, live document, updated periodically, and as project are finished, and as projects are finished. Maybe I'll put a semicolon there with links to photos. And then photos of completed projects often include a before and after photo.
Yep. We see it right there. Yep. The history of it. Good, good, good.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So if I have a door sill photo, I'll town hall, send that.
Yep.
Send photos from the roof on